understanding generational diversity, when you have people living longer lives, when you have these family complexities and new ways of working and living, become even more important. So we're going to take a look at the 4 generations in the workplace today. Now, this whole idea of looking at the generations and defining their cohort characteristics is an interesting one that sociologists have been doing for a long time. It's kind of like when you meet somebody, you say where you're from, and it gives you a little bit of a sense of the person. This is the same concept with asking, when are you from? And it really impacts people in the way they think. Let me give you an example. By the way, sociologists believe that between the ages of 17 and 24, a lot of key characteristics and values and attitudes are put into place that stay with us for life. That's an important key. So let's just take money, for example. The silent generation, when they were young adults and young, they went through the Depression, and then they experienced the economic prosperity of the 50s. So they have a very interesting attitude about money. They feel like save a little, spend a little. So they're thrifty, but they're not afraid of spending. They will do some spending. The boomers, very different. And I would say the boomers, in many ways, they define themselves in contrast to the older generations. They think, they grew up in a time when the economy was doing great, credit cards were just coming into being. They think if you have 3 credit cards and they're not maxed out, you're doing just great. Most of them have not saved for retirement. A third have not saved for retirement at all. A third have not saved enough. So that's the boomers in terms of money. The Gen Xers, now Gen Xers are really different than that. They don't believe Social Security will be there for them. We did a study a bunch of years ago on Social Security, and we asked them what they thought. They said they thought it was more likely they would meet an extraterrestrial than that they would get Social Security the way we know it today. So they, not surprisingly, they max out their 401ks when they can. And the millennial generation, well, they're still young. I mean, a lot of them are still in high school. We're just seeing who they are. But when it comes to money, we know that many of them are still dependent on their parents or supplemented by their parents. And many of them are dealing with big student loans. So money is a big issue for them as well.